Peace, you know who this is. Family, I still don't have my mic. I'm still on the road dealing with my family stuff, but I wanted to do this video real quick because Tariq tried to quote unquote address Melle Mel. So we're gonna deal with this real quick. First, I would like to ask you to make sure you like this video, share this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell, donate to me if you can, follow me on all my social media sites. It's really just Twitter because Instagram suspended me again. But anyway, we're going to get into this.
Is results. Now, this is the bottom line. Now, everybody got their opinion, so now this is my opinion. There's no black culture. Like, hip-hop is not black culture. Hip-hop is Bronx culture. All the shit that made hip-hop, the building blocks of hip-hop, it was formed in the Bronx.
That's being politically correct. That's being politically correct. And then what he does, he says it's not black culture, it's Bronx culture, and then start naming a bunch of black people who created it. Yeah? Then starts naming a bunch of black people who created it. Hold on, let's get to it. All right, hold on.
The first popular DJs, DJ
Black but Caribbean.
Okay. The first turntablist, Flash.
Black but Caribbean.
Bronx cat. The first guy to do the scratch. Where was a theater.
Black. And he's foundational Black American.
Is a Bronx cat, right? The first MC. You're looking at him. I was
Black, foundational Black American.
born and raised in the Bronx. Monsignor Hospital. The Bronx culture is hip.
Wait, I want to stop right there. As you heard, Melle Mel said that it's not black culture, it's Bronx culture. Tariq is like, oh, he's saying the same thing. He's just being politically correct by saying it's Bronx culture, but he just named a bunch of black people. I thought that people like DJ Kool Herc and Grandmaster Flash didn't count because I thought that FBA was the only true black people in America. So now it's we all black. The real issue here is Puerto Ricans trying to claim our black culture. You see how he playing on people's mind? 1 minute, we disaggregating, we different people. West Indians, Africans, they not our people. Now, they are people, and the real issue is just Puerto Ricans. Like, come on, Tariq. You just back and forth, and people in the comment section, in the chat room, just letting that shit ride. They ain't saying, wait, hold on. Those people ain't FBA. Why he naming them? And I thought you said that Herc and all of them didn't actually invent anything. Well, we're going to keep going.
Hip-hop culture.
Okay, notice, okay, for the Puerto Ricans who are celebrating, he didn't name any Puerto Ricans. All right? He didn't name any Puerto Ricans. So, what he's doing, he's just being very politically correct. He's trying to say it was black without saying it was black. You see? By saying it was the Bronx.
Okay, Tariq. He didn't name any quote-unquote Puerto Ricans, but I'll name one for you. Here we go. DJ Disco Wiz. Who invented what? Let's look at this. The mix plate. He created the mix plate in '77. Can't be a DJ if you can't mix plate. You're not a hip-hop DJ anyway. And here's a picture of him. Shout out to DJ Disco Wiz. Let's keep going.
You see? And what that does, unfortunately, you're leaving a latch open on the back door. Because Mel knows it was all black. Mel, and he said this in microphone check. He's already said this. And he's saying it now. He's saying it now. That's why it's the Bronx thing. It didn't point it to a bunch of black people. So you're saying it now. But what you do when you say, well, it was a Bronx thing, what you do, you leave the back door open. You leave the latch off the back door. So when other people coming in, staking claim to the furniture and the goods and all of the valuables, you can kind of turn a blind eye and keep your hand clean. You keep your hands clean because you didn't say that it was Latinos and blacks. You just said it was the Bronx. But you're still complicit in leaving the back door open for them to come in with the lies, and that's been the problem. That's been the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all saw Cardi B say something about, yeah, the Bronx created hip-hop, something. She was saying some bullshit like that. That whole, it was the Bronx thing, that's, what's the Bronx? The Bronx is a location. Because I heard China Mac, who's Asian, talking about, yeah, we from the Bronx, we created hip-hop. The hip-hop is a...
He didn't say, he said he was from New York, but we're going to continue. He didn't say he was from the Bronx, but let's continue.
Bronx thing, we created hip-hop. This is an Asian dude talking about he done created some damn hip-hop. No. The Bronx is bricks, buildings, and asphalt. Did the buildings create hip-hop in the Bronx? Did the parks and the trees create hip-hop in the Bronx? No. Did the asphalt and the sidewalks create hip hop in the Bronx? No. See, we're going to have to use deductions. Okay.
Tariq, if we use those same deductions, then black people in America, the people you call foundational black Americans, didn't create anything. Because when people pointed out that, hey, all this quote unquote culture and elements that you keep talking about came from Africa and came from the Caribbean, what do y'all say? Well, we talking about who created what on this land. We created this on that land, on this land. We not talking about no Africa, no Caribbean. We talking about what we did on this land. Right? Right or wrong? That's what you say. That's what you say. So now somebody else is saying that same thing. Now you start talking about, oh, did the parks do it? Well, did the soil create it? Because y'all keep saying, y'all the people from the soil. Y'all from this soil. Y'all did it on this soil, this land, this land, this land. Well, did the land do it or did the people do it? And if the people did it, why you keep bringing up the land? It's about who did it, right? It's not about where they did it at. So why is it an issue when Melle Mel is saying this? Because if you arguing like a white supremacist, because you know how white people do. They'll say something is this is a white invention. And then when you point out somebody black has something to do with it, they'll be like, oh, this is an American invention. We all did this. It's the same thing. When you want to point out stuff from the West Coast, you'll be like, oh, this is a West Coast thing. Now, Melle Mel is pointing out something from the Bronx. So what? This is a Bronx thing? Oh, nah, it's a black thing. Come on, man. You're doing the same thing. Like, it's getting confusion. Excuse me. It's getting confusing. Because it's like every day you're constantly switching up. 1 minute is this land. Somebody talks about, oh, elements of hip hop can go back to the Caribbean or go back to Africa. Or people was spinning on their head in Africa. Does that mean Africans created breakdancing? Y'all be like, no, no, no. We talking about this land. We talking about what happened here. So he's talking about what happened in the Bronx. What's the issue? Let's continue.
Since the inanimate objects of the Bronx, did the Bronx River create hip hop? No. Okay, since the inanimate objects in the Bronx didn't create hip hop, okay, let's go to the people. Did the whites, Jews, Italians, Irish create hip hop? No. Did the Dominicans and the Jamaican community create hip hop? No. Herc was emulating foundational black Americans. Did the Puerto Ricans create hip hop? No. Did the pigeons in the bird?
Look, he just contradicted himself. You was just giving DJ Kool Herc his props for being a part of the creation of hip hop or creating hip hop. To my, yeah, hip hop is all black. He just named a bunch of black people. He's just not saying black because he's trying to leave the door open for Latinos. Now you're saying who created it, you trying to exclude Herc out of it. So no, he ain't had nothing to do with it. He was just copying us. Which one is it? Was he copying y'all and he ain't had nothing to do with it, or he is a part of the foundation because he created it? Which one?
Birds in the Bronx create hip hop? No. So who the hell was creating hip hop in the Bronx? The black people. You see? It was the black people doing it. Particularly the foundational black Americans. Yeah? Just use deduction. So that whole,
So now it was all the black people doing it, particularly the foundational black Americans. You hear what he's saying? Contradiction on top of contradiction on top of contradiction on top of contradiction. So now you're giving Jamaicans their props for creating hip hop. Okay.
It was the Bronx that created it. The Bronx is an inanimate object. The Bronx is a location with inanimate objects. It was people. Who were the people? Where were they getting the seeds of hip hop to create it? Were you getting it from salsa? No. Were you getting it from polka? No. Were you getting it from reggae? No. Were you getting it from funk, R&B, disco?
That's not true. Africa Bambaataa has already credited reggae and salsa, but let's continue.
From foundational black American bands? Yes. The rapping part. Did you get that from the birds in the Bronx? The pigeons? The rats in the sewer? Where'd you get the rapping from in the Bronx? You got it from foundational black Americans. We can play this game all day. We can just do the power of deduction. But again, this leaves the back door open for people to come on in.
That's not true neither, but we're going to deal with that another time.
And then start claim jumping the culture. Let me play some more of my brother Mel. This is all respect. This is respect. This is all respect. This is all respect and no disrespect whatsoever. Hold on.
So the fact that if you got two different sides arguing about the culture of hip hop, you didn't even say none of the Bronx guys' name. Like it's like all this we shit. Like you French? Who's all the we? First of all, whoever's speaking about that, you wasn't even there. I'm there. I'm 16, 17 years old.
And the people there, including you, Brother Mel, said that it was black people at those early parties.
I'm looking at her. If you want to talk about hip hop culture and have it being beneficial for somebody, then why are you supposed to benefit her? Why you can't ask somebody? Ask somebody that was there. You're just going to take it upon yourself. Oh yeah, well, you know, so and so started the culture. At the end of the day, the people wasn't even really behind hip hop like that. You want to know who was behind hip hop in the very beginning? Bronx was behind hip hop. That's what was it.
Well, the people in Brooklyn and Queens and Harlem, a lot of people were into hip hop. They would go to those jams.
In the parties. And you had a couple of people from the outer boroughs and they came in.
Right, okay, there you go. He acknowledged that.
But the whole thing happened in the Bronx. This whole conversation is supposed to benefit the true founders and builders of hip hop, but you never even asked her. Did you ask her? Did you ask Biggs or did you ask Flash? Well, Flash, what do you think about? Oh, your foundational Black Americans. We was Afro Americans probably back then.
Yeah, and this is what I don't like. You're taking a shot at your own lineage. You're taking a shot at your lineage. See, this is this whole shame of your lineage thing where we can't give ourselves credit for creating something. And we weren't African Americans at the time. We didn't use African American in the 70s. We weren't. We didn't use African American in the 70s. But when you talk about people in the 70s, some people will use the term African American now, just like now the term is foundational Black American. You're still talking about the same people, but you're being very specific about the lineage.
Wrong. First of all, he said Afro-American, not African-American. Let's deal with that. First of all, the term was around in the 60s and the 70s. Let me see. Who is this? Richard B. Moore. He's from Barbados, and he was the one who first coined the term African-American and Afro-American and said we shouldn't be calling ourselves Negro or Black, but African-American. This is who Jesse Jackson actually got it from. When people be like, oh, Jesse Jackson made it up. No, he didn't. This is where he got it from. And this was in New York. Also, what is that called? The Organization of Afro-American Unity, started by Malcolm X in 1964. Richard was doing it before him. It was, I think he put out his book, Negro, in 1963. So what are you talking about? People in New York were using that term. If you was around consciousness or any type of black stuff, I'm talking about like some real pro-black stuff, you knew about the term Afro-American and African-American, and you was using it. The rest of y'all didn't catch on until like what? Till Jesse Jackson brought it to y'all. And guess what? Where did he get it from? New York. Stay out of New York business. But we're going to continue. Continuing on.
Yeah? You're being very specific about the lineage. Yeah, he's from an FBA family. But nobody even used African-American in the 70s. And also,
African-American is not the same as FBA. Let's stop that right there. African-American is anybody black in America.
nobody used the term hip-hop in the 70s. The culture was not even called hip-hop in the 70s. The culture wasn't called hip-hop. The word hip-hop wasn't on them flyers in the 70s. They didn't call it that, you see. Sometimes you will do something, and sometimes something is there, and then later on, you are able to define it. The term hip-hop didn't come into place for the culture until 1982. We talked about this in Microphone Check. That's why y'all got to go see Microphone Check. You got to see Microphone Check.
Okay, he said that. Did you give Africa Bambaataa any credit for that in Microphone Check? Because we about to listen to Africa Bambaataa right now.
But now here comes a black show, all black show with a black.
Comes from an educator named Jahi, who's actually out in the Bay Area. He's a good friend of the Hip Hop Collection, actually. And he asks of Bam, of the many words and themes that you could have chosen for the name hip hop, why did you name the culture hip hop? And why did you make the principles of the Zulu Nation peace, unity, love, and having fun?
Well, I chose the name hip hop because of the cliches that my brothers was using in their rap.
Comes from
my fault, family. Also, if you want to watch this whole video, go to my channel. It's up there. Well, let's go.
Why did you name the culture hip hop? And why did you make the principles of the Zulu Nation peace, unity, love, and having fun?
Well, I chose the name hip hop because of the cliches that my brothers was using in their rhymes, Love Bud Starsky and Keith Cowboy from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, who was strong members of the Black Spades. And, you know, we used to do our lot of dirt and good together in this Black Spades. And I like the sound of what they were saying. And when the media come to speak to me, because we could have called it the go-off, the boing-yoing, we could have called it the scat rap and all that type. But I like that sound. I said, you know, this is hip, and when you feel that music, you got to hop to it. So that's when we call it hip-hop. And when we started the Universal Zulu Nation and started putting all these different ideologies together, and bringing the principles of peace, unity, love, and having fun, the Universal Zulu Nation stand for knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, and equality. Peace, unity, love, work, and having fun. Overcoming the negative to the positive. Science, mathematics, facts, and the oneness of the supreme force, whether you call him, her, or it, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Elohim, Jah, or the ancients of all the names, Atum, Amun Ra. And this became what is known as the Universal Zulu Nation today.
Okay, we just heard him. Africa Bambaataa is the one who named it. He came up with the principles. And if you want to say anything about, oh, that's not the elements. Africa Bambaataa created hip-hop, standardized and codified hip-hop as a musical genre and as a cultural movement. Even your man, Lord Jamal, got to acknowledge that. Let's see something.
The national notoriety that Soul Train gave the young black teen. And I think a little bit of, you know, a little bit of jealousy might have set in. Like, let's keep it real. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and then eventually when hip hop came, they had an opportunity to like it when Soul Train was around. You understand? And all of this. Like to me, and that's what I'm saying. Like I looked up who created the 5 elements of hip hop. It was Africa Bambaataa. Like he just decided that there's 5 elements of hip hop. Like,
all right, we're gonna end that there. And for all you who think it's cap, just type that in. 82. That's when hip hop got its name. Africa Bambaataa coined the term hip hop. 82. Let's continue.
But even the term hip hop didn't come into play for the culture until 1982. All right? This is why standing on business is very important. And we are defining what it is, and we're very careful to define things that elevate the lineage as it should be elevated so that it will have integrity, so that everybody and their mama can't jump in claiming the shit. You dig? So you won't have Puerto Ricans who are classified as white, but then start talking about, well, I was black in the 70s, so that means I created hip-hop too. See, all that old flip-flopping bullshit, that's the problem.
One, I'm going to deal with this real quick, family. Yeah, enough is enough, because I fast forward a little bit ahead, because I paused it. I'm like, let me see what's going on. He's just engaged in a bunch of babble, so we're just going to deal with this Puerto Rican issue real quick. In New York, Puerto Ricans have always been black from day one, always. That's not a new phenomenon, and it has nothing to do with the color of their skin, where like, oh, if you're going to be black, you got to be an Afro-Latino, and you got to be the color of, I don't know, Wesley Snipes. That ain't it. That ain't never been it. Is it was going by the original rules everywhere else. You got black blood, you black. That's it. For example, this is one of our greatest New Yorkers, right here. Arthur Schonsberg, right here. He's Puerto Rican. He don't look no different than no other Puerto Rican. Certified, bona fide black leader. One of the biggest black leaders of all time. In fact, when you look at the book right here, 100 Greatest African Americans, look where he at. And this is not in order, by the way, so don't say, if you want to look at this list, the list is not in order. It's just how they just did it. But here we go. Number 78. Who's there? Arthur Schonsberg, a Puerto Rican. This whole, oh, they just trying to pretend to be black, to claim hip hop. Come on, stay out of our business. Maybe if you had went to the Schonsberg, this is named after him, by the way. He started this institution, a real institution, not that fake art gallery you calling a museum / comedy club, because that's all y'all doing up there is comedy. Schonsberg Center for Research in Black Culture. This is the citadel right here of all black learning in America. Right here. Especially of culture. Capital C culture. Not that pop culture stuff that y'all so obsessed with. Actual culture. Maybe if you had took a trip to the Schonsberg, you wouldn't be so stupid. Maybe if you took a trip to the Schonsberg, you wouldn't have been pumping. You wouldn't have to be a grifter. You could have actually done real black history without the grift, without adding in all the pseudo nonsense. You wouldn't have to make up fake identities like FBA. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment, tell me what you think. Family, I should be getting, I should be wrapping this up, like my issue, and I'll be able to be back home and make my videos the regular way I always do. Donate to me if you can. And on that note, family, peace.